Hi, Mike Panja, and today we're going to do a Chinese dish, curry chicken. I copied it from a restaurant I went to many years ago in New York's Chinatown, and I think I've got it perfect. I've made it hundreds of times, and it's one of my favorites. I hope you enjoy it. Even though this is a chicken recipe, I think it's important to review how to make plain white rice because the white rice is such a natural with this dish. Now I do have a video, what are you so scared of, it's only rice, that you could go back to and it shows you the details. I'm going to review it very quickly here. I put about, maybe a half an inch or a little less level of rice. Then I use my finger method, the backs of my fingers, to measure how much water should go in. And I just want to cover the fingers a little bit. Now, I didn't mention it in my video, but it's the same amount, not really the same amount, but the same relative amount. No matter how much rice you use, the differential is how much water covers the rice. And I want it to be a little more than a half an inch to cover the rice. I would say 5/8 of an inch, but I don't want to get involved with too much technical jargon. Anyway, you use the backs of your fingers and fill it up just to that level, and that'll work. We turn on the heat moderately. Now we're looking for the rice to start to boil. Once it starts to boil, give it a quick stir and let it go for about 1 minute. Once you've boiled it for about a minute, lower the heat way down so it just barely simmers, cover it with a tight-fitting cover, and time it for 16 minutes. After 16 minutes, turn off the heat and let the rice rest for 10 minutes. I'm using chicken thighs, skinless, boneless, but you can use breasts if you prefer. I think the thighs are a little juicier. Now look for the grain in the meat if you can spot it, and try to cut across it. That'll give you the most tender pieces. Cut your pieces about a half inch wide and across the grain if you can. If you don't see the grain or you miss it, it's not a big deal. Reviewing the ingredients, we have 3 chicken thighs cut in half-inch strips, canola oil, chicken broth, a large onion cut into vertical sections, curry powder, cornstarch, about a quarter of a cup of water to dissolve the cornstarch, and about a quarter of a cup of frozen peas defrosted. And of course, a little salt to taste. We'll start by heating a little canola oil in the large pan. Swirl it around for coverage. Now I'm going to put my chicken in. And what I want to do is keep turning it. As I see any pink, turn the pink down towards the pan. Don't worry too much about undercooking it, because it'll have another chance to cook more when it's in the sauce, remember. So now what we want to do is just get rid of any pink that's showing by turning the pink part towards the pan. I'm calling that done for now. I'm going to add just a little more oil and start the onions. We want to cook these until they just begin to turn translucent. Onions like salt, so I'm going to add just a little bit, a little sprinkle. Now let's add the curry. Don't be shy. The shaker top up here is not really good for us for this particular recipe, because what we need is a good handful of curry. Spread that out on the onions. Close your curry powder back up so it'll be ready for next time. And let's stir that in a little bit with the onions. Now I'm going to add the chicken broth. I'm using a little more than half the can. Stir that in. I'm going to use cornstarch to thicken the sauce. And any of you that are not familiar with using a thickening agent like cornstarch, you use cold water. I'm taking about a heaping tablespoon and about a half a cup of cold water. Stir it well with a fork. And I'll add it to the gravy. Boiling like you see here is perfect, because that's what activates the cornstarch. Now we stir it. And at this point, we can reintroduce the chicken. Mix it all up. And we'll see the sauce start to simmer. And when it does, we'll see the miracle of the cornstarch thickening. At this point, when the whole thing is just about done, I'm going to add in the peas. I think it's probably about a half a cup I used. So we'll throw those in. I have a brother-in-law who hates peas, so for him we would leave them out. Maybe mix them in with the white rice. That's another cute trick. I'm going to use one of my tasting spoons to check the salt. Not bad, not bad. You could use a little more salt, not too much, gently. Gently, a little more salt, that's it. And I think we are about ready to serve it. I'm going to let that stay on simmer. Meanwhile, I'm going to make a mold of some white rice using a water glass, which has, I think, a pleasing shape. This is just plain white rice, nothing but rice and water. The rice was not rinsed beforehand. to give it that extra sticky quality, which works so well with Chinese and Japanese cooking. I think that'll do nicely. There's our molded rice. And it's dinner. Well, there you have it. A genuine New York Chinese restaurant style dish, the curry chicken. I've included a review on how to make plain white rice in the Chinese style. So I hope you can follow up and put rice with your curry chicken. It's a natural combination. Speaking of natural combinations, there's another appetizer that I like to make that I'll feature in a video in the next, in the next 2 or 3 sessions that I have. And that will be scallion pancakes. They're a delight. They're really nice. They're pretty easy to make, and I'll show you how we do them in the next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, let's stay connected by having you hit subscribe if you haven't done it already. Now, the other thing is, if you like this video, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, so I know I'm getting through to people and that you appreciate what I'm doing for you, because I appreciate what you're doing, coming back and looking at these videos, enjoying them. I hope you are anyway. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.